The My Portfolio area is a collection of portfolio, programs, projects, and epics. You'll see in this particular group, we've set this up where we have the portfolios, then we have programs underneath portfolios, and then we have projects and epics underneath the programs. You can actually expand these different areas to see the portfolios, then the programs, and then we can expand into what projects and epics roll up into those programs. This is completely configurable, but the adaptive portfolio out of the box comes with these three layers. I can also switch my views to just see certain areas, levels as well. So if I just wanted to go into a project summary and just see the projects, so now I'm seeing the projects and epics and I no longer see the programs or portfolios, I can do that. I can also do that by adding them in here or removing them here as well. We also have different views in here if I wanted to see, for example, the project schedule. So if I wanted to see the schedule of these projects, I can switch to a schedule view here. You'll notice here I have a little Gantt on the right hand side. I also see some key milestones that are being delivered between those in those plans in that Gantt. I can easily turn that Gantt on or off at any time. I also can group these plans. So if right now I'm grouped by business unit, but maybe I want to group them by category, I can do that as well. And I can get rolled up information by those. I can also filter. So if I only wanted to look at things that were maybe in the cloud computing and business analytics, I can do that as well, and so filter out certain data that's in my portfolio here. Also, another powerful thing is prioritization in this particular list view here. I'm going to go ahead and switch my view to project prioritization. And in here, you'll see I have a list of my projects and epics. And on the right-hand side here, as we scroll over, you'll see we have a prioritization score. And that's being driven by these different drivers or these questions that have been put into the environment here. So how well does this particular project align to the business strategy? Does it help you lower cost, improve employees? And so you can actually in here change these things. For example, this new customer support portal actually really does help the business grow. It does definitely help us lower our costs. And you'll see the score on the right-hand side will change. So this does not really improve our employees' retention. So that's going to kind of come down. So you'll see that the scoring changes here to give you a prioritization score for this particular plan. But we all know that we all have initiatives that we need to do that may be not as high scoring in the prioritization. So we have the ability to do stack ranking. So if you click on prioritization tab here, on the left-hand side, you'll see the ranking of what we think needs to get done in what order. And so you can actually take a lower scoring plan and actually bring it up and say that this is actually in our top 5 of what we need to do here within our system. So now we have a stack rank of plans or initiatives we want to do. Now that we've done our stack ranking, we can also now do constraint analysis. So the first one I'm going to do is add in my resource load here. And so now I can see, based on all these initiatives that we have selected up here, I can look at what our resource load would look like down below. And so this is where I can start doing some what-ifing by removing plans, say lower ranking plans, at the bottom here and seeing, okay, if we don't do these 6 plans, what would be the impact to my resource needs below? Not only can we do force in, force out, we could also do what-ifing on what if we moved a particular plan out to a different date. So what if we move this particular plan, since it's not doing so well, out to the quarter 4? Or how about if we move this plan out to quarter 4 as well? And as you see at the bottom, everything starts to adjust based on where we're moving these items. And so that's how you can do some scenario planning around the resources. When you're ready, you can save that scenario off and compare them later. So not only can you do resource constraint analysis, you can also do the same type of analysis with your financials. So here I have my financials. I can actually come in here and create a new target. So I'll say this is a FY21 budget. I can come across here and add in a budget amount for each month, or I can change this here to yearly and say the budget for the entire year is $4 million. 40. So you can see automatically here we're already a little bit over our budget here. I'm going to go back to months. And so now you can see where we might be going off on our budget for the year. And so you'll see we get a little heavy on financials in the middle of the year. So we might want to move some of these projects out to next year to help us adjust our financials. So as we go through, maybe we take the lower priority projects here that are down below here that are checked, and we can move those out to the next year. And so you'll see as our budget starts to change here below, and it allows us to get to a place where we can fit in our schedule work based on our cost analysis. And again, saving our scenarios here in the portfolio. So this is a traditional way to do prioritization and what-ifing of initiatives. Another way within portfolio is the boards. So if you're more shifting towards agile or shifting left, you do have the ability to come into the boards here and also prioritize your initiatives and see what initiatives that are going on in here. So for example, I am looking at all my initiatives, my different projects and epics, and I'm looking at what's in proposed, what's active, and what's closed or on hold. We also see the total budgets at the top here. So one of the things you can do in here is you can put constraints. So for example, if I wanted to say we're planning to spend $3 million in this particular state, which is active, which could have multiple states, and we only want to have $200,000 of projects on hold. And what we want to be having the proposed state, meaning we're reviewing, we only want to have $3 million in potential initiatives there as well. And so you'll see across the top, we can have our kind of our work in process constraint analysis here. So you'll see where we can bring in more proposed work here to review. We're still green, but we have too many that are in the active state. So we can start to take things and say, well, let's remove, or let's put this one back. Let's move this one on hold. We can then, because that's not doing too well. We can see that there's some dependencies though. So if I was to move this on hold, it's going to impact this particular plan coming into play. So we don't want to move that on hold. So I can kind of come down here. This one doesn't have any dependencies. Let's move that. And you'll see that we're getting closer and closer to meeting our budget needs here at the top. So now by moving these projects and putting these on hold, I now am within budget range to be able to move forward for this quarter here. So this is just an example of being able to use boards for managing your work in progress. You also have other types of views in here, so you can manage and see your initiatives by business unit. I can see things maybe by the strategy and then overall health. So what initiatives are on track and which ones do they align to our initiatives? So here, appealing to younger demographics, and then our cloud and mobile first strategy here. And then we can see which cards are, or which initiatives are off track and which ones are on track. We can change the different sizes here if we wanted to. So if we wanted to get more information about those particular cards, or if we wanted to actually add additional fields. So we want to know what percent are they completed. We want to know if there are any late tasks. So we can add these all to the cards themselves here within the boards. The other area you could look at is your roadmap. So if you're more of a product type of organization and you like to look at things from a product roadmap standpoint, here we're looking at these same initiatives. We're looking at our projects and epics, and I'm looking at a roadmap view of that. And so here are the initiatives that are grouped up by goals. And so I can switch these here to other things, like for example, if I wanted to change this by business unit. So I have a roadmap by business unit here. I can switch to views as well, or create views here. So if I wanted to see the roadmap by strategy, I could also see that as well. And so this allows you to build out different types of roadmaps within the portfolio. And lastly, you have the ability to embed Power BI reports into OnePlan. And so OnePlan does provide a Power BI report pack for the adaptive PPM solution. And this is where management can come in and centralize all that data that has been entered into OnePlan into nice visual reports. So here's an example of an ideation dashboard. So from the ideations area over here, I can see quickly what ideas are coming into play, how much is being budgeted around it. I can also get some more information around my strategy. So over here is my strategy, and I might want to look at what particular objectives and key results are on track to meeting goals and which ones are not on track. I also might want to see portfolio summary information. So if I'm looking at, again, my portfolio, as we showed earlier, that hierarchy, I can actually click in here and say drill through to my portfolio details information. And so if I drill into this particular report, I can see I'm looking at the appeal to younger demographics. These are the different programs that are underneath that particular portfolio. And I might want to drill through to this particular program detail. And I can just drill into here. Now I'm looking at the improve and enhanced program. And then these are the projects and epics that are associated to that particular program. And I can get the current status of those as well. And again, officially, I could drill into those project details if I wanted to get more information around the project details. And then if you scroll to the right here at the bottom, you'll see there's all types of reports that come with the Adaptive Portfolio Management report pack. So we have resource information, risks, issues, changes, schedule information, and so forth. And lastly, I just want to show you how to create a new plan. So I'm going to come back over here to a list. And depending on which plan types you're selected on, so right now I have projects and epics, you'll be able to see in the new button, you have projects and epics. And so I can easily click on one of these and fill out the what parent plan, so what program is this associated to, and then what the name is. Or if I'm in a more of the hierarchy view where I can see the portfolios, the programs, and then the projects, you can actually use the little plus symbol as you highlight below, and it will allow you to create a sub plan underneath it. So for example, if I wanted to create a project underneath this program, I'd click on this little plus button. I would say I want to create a new project, and then I would say this is new project 1, and I'll go ahead and click on add, and you'll see here that my quick edit quick form comes up, and you can start to fill out your key information around your plan. You can also get access to your other financials, resource plans, work plans, and so forth here as well. So this is a quick summary of the My Portfolio area.